Thanks for joining us here on SportsRadio610.com. It's a Football Friday here in the studio. Robert Hensley with the day off, so I'm partnered with Mike Meltzer, and we open the show this afternoon with 3 on the spot. We pretty much do it every Friday before a Texans game. We each pick 3 Texans who we think are on the spot, instrumental in the Texans getting a victory on Sunday. This week it's a home game against the Chiefs. I'm going to let you go first, Mike. You took a guy who's sort of an institution in our 3 on the spot segment.
No question. He's basically building a residence here. That's Kareem Jackson, the cornerback out of Alabama. He has not played well so far this season. He got crucified last week against Hakeem Nicks. And listen, I understand the Chiefs' passing game has been absolutely atrocious so far this season. But again, when you're Kareem Jackson, you haven't really had a good game. They keep saying he's going to be a great player. Gary Kubiak has said that. Zach Towns told me that he's going to be a great player. At some point, we need to start seeing the flashes of what will make Kareem Jackson a good player.
The kid is definitely under the gun. Number 1 on my list is quarterback Matt Schaub, who last week got sacked, turned it over, was harassed by the Giants defense. That's happened a couple of times this season against the Giants and the Cowboys. This is a Chiefs defense that's playing at a very high level. They gave Peyton Manning everything he could handle last week in that 10-point loss at Indianapolis, held the Colts to a late touchdown in that game. This is a pretty tough defense. I think Matt Schaub needs to play at a very high level, feel the pass rush, slide away from it, get rid of the football on time, and secure the football and not turn it over either through fumble or interception. I think there's a lot riding on Matt Schaub's performance this week.
No question. Number 2 for me, it's not a usual guy who's in this spot. I'd say wide receiver Andre Johnson. We know he's not fully healthy. He's not 100%. He's right now probably 80-85% or so. He's facing, arguably today, the best cornerback in the NFL. That's Brandon Flowers out of Kansas City. He's only 5'9", but there were some stats that show that he's basically giving up 2.6 yards a pass to his side. I think, considering the health, considering everything going on with this football team, we need to see how Andre Johnson, the best player on this football team, plays against one of the best corners in the NFL in Brandon Flowers.
Yards per attempt is a pretty sick
number
for Brandon Flowers. Brian Cushing's number 2 on my list. Second game back off the suspension. I actually thought he was an impact player last week in the loss to the Giants, but I think he needs to take it up a notch this week and really be that disruptive force, that playmaker that allowed him to earn Defensive Rookie of the Year honors last year and make the Pro Bowl in his first season in the NFL. I think he's a big key this week against a Chiefs offense that has yet to score an offensive touchdown in its first 2 road games this season. So I think Cushing can set the tone on Sunday and really make a difference.
Number 3, Rashad Butler, the left tackle. This will probably be his last game starting because after the bye week, Dwayne Brown's going to come back and he's going to start the left tackle position. Rashad Butler's facing Tamba Hali, the kid out of Penn State who came out first-round pick a couple of years ago, was sort of a disappointment. The guy, he's had a 3-sack game, he's had a 1-sack game against Peyton Manning last week. I think Rashad Butler's on the spot. Tamba Hali is a relentless player. He's a high-effort, high-motor type of guy. Rashad Butler struggled at times, although I think expectedly against the Giants with the best defensive line in the NFL. When you're going up against Tamba Hali, considering all the protection issues Houston has had so far this season, we need one more solid effort out of Rashad Butler.
All right, so Mike is going with Kareem Jackson, Andre Johnson, and Rashad Butler. I've chosen Matt Schaub, Brian Cushing, and last on my list is Jacoby Jones, who is apparently well enough on the mend from that calf injury to play in this game against the Chiefs. Gary Kubiak called him his 3rd starter at wide receiver. He obviously makes an impact as a dynamic punt returner, so there's 2 ways he can impact the outcome of this game, and I think he's a big-time playmaker sort of waiting in the wings. He's got to be able to hold on to the football more consistently than he has in the past, but I think this is a guy that can be a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses from a size, strength, speed, and just overall athletic ability standpoint. I think he can be a real key on Sunday as well. Hey, we'd love to hear your keys, your Texans on the spot as well as we continue here on a Football Friday. Thanks for joining us on SportsRadio610.com.